All right, here we go. Week number one, night number one. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our first night of the Victoris Legend series. My name is Gurf, and tonight I cannot do it by myself. I'm joined by the lovely Cute Noob and Wumby. How are you guys doing tonight? Are you ready to go for our first cast of the split?
Ladies first.
I am super excited. I was going to miss it, but thankfully my sickness
Thank goodness.
subsided and I am here and I am ready. I'm super duper excited. Wumby, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling so excited to cast with you, and I'm also excited to be here. I don't well, not really on a desk. I'm at my own desk, but I'm at the desk nonetheless with Gurf, and I'm just excited for the matchup that we have here today. Saul versus Excelsior, and really, I don't really know that much about these two teams, but I do want to get the opinions from Gurf himself first, since he's been here longer than we have.
Oh yeah, just a couple splits have been here. But Saw or Staring at Walls gonna be their first time joining us here in Victoris. So we're looking at five wonderful players. We've got Scuba, we've got pulling on my list here, Zechariah. I wanna say, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but hit us up in chat. Let us know if we're saying it wrong because we want to get those right for you. But Zwix, I'm a Wombat, and Unit all coming in here for the first time, staring at walls. And it's going to be a great time to see what kind of energy, what kind of talent these guys are bringing. But on the other side of the matchup is a few familiar faces under a new brand, a new team name, Excelsior. This is the previous squad that is the reigning champions. These guys were the fake flashers last split. So we've got Cal, we've got Jaco, Diploctimus, and Jack all coming back. I believe Mail is going to be joining them as well, who may have subbed a few times for them this past fall split, but part of the full roster now. I'm so excited to see these guys back, and we get to see our defending champs night one of our split.
Yep. I'm very excited to see these two teams battle it out. Like I said, I am very excited for Excelsior, but I'm also excited to see some players from Saw show their true potential in this matchup. I just put my glasses on, so that's probably going to be very awkward for like viewers to see. I'm sorry, I just cannot see today. But I'm also very, like I said, I'm very excited for Saw to play. I did try and look them up as much as I could, as well as Excelsior. And one player that I'm actually going to be looking out for is you just mentioned him is North. He's probably one of their more powerful duelists. He plays, from what I saw, a lot of Raze and Jet, and hopefully, I love Raze. I love to see players who are like really aggressive fraggers just dominate with her, because she's a very dominant duelist. She's one of the most powerful across all of Valorant, and there's a reason why. It's down to her abilities. It's down to her like hunger is just her hunger is just for kills. I mean, that's her whole lore, right? Is that she's just a vampire and she's hungry for kills and blood, whatever. But yeah.
Oh yeah, some big names to look out for tonight, and a lot of teams coming up too. So I just wanted to give a quick preview too, and I think we've got a graphic somewhere out here, and it might be showing up right now too. But this is going to be the first time we have had our VLS league, previously known as LRS Valorant before our rebrand. This is the first time we've had up to 16 teams on the start of our split, so it's very exciting to see all the competition that we're going to be having this split. But if you were there last weekend for the draw show, you got to see where everybody went into both Group A and Group B. And now that we finally got things sorted out, we're looking here at a 7-week split, $1,000 prize pool, and one of these teams are going to be walking away as our reigning champions, getting that title and walking away looking strong. But I'm looking at these groups. A lot of great logos, first of all. I think there's one
Yeah.
that has stolen all of our hearts here. But I want to just hear from you guys first, just at a glance. Which of these two groups are we looking at is our power groups? Cute Noob, you first.
So after doing a little bit of poking around, I do have to say not only because, as you mentioned, El Excelsior was the reigning champs last league. So I'm looking at Group A being one of the most strong because they are there as well. Also, based off rank, just poking around, I have seen that Group A does have the more dominant ranks on it. But I mean, you can't count out Group B, but I do have to go with Group A. What
Yeah, you know
about you,
what?
Wumby?
Yeah.
What about
Yeah,
me? I'm
go
so
ahead,
sorry.
Wummy.
I like paused for a second. I had a brain fart, but I do agree with everything that you said. Group A does look the more dominant, and I think I said before we actually started the stream, I said Group B is going to probably be the group of death. And the reason why I said that is not because I think that they're better. I just think that they're all at the right at the they're all at the same level. That there's not going to be a clear winner amongst Group B. And like you did, I did a bunch of poking around Group B more so than Group A because I saw Excelsior and I saw S4 and I was like, oh, okay. I think they're gonna be the two more dominant teams in that group. And
Mm.
then I looked at Group B and I was like, there's a lot of potential between all of those teams. And while they're not at the same level of say Excelsior and S4, they're all at the same level of one another. So it's a lot of it's a bunch of chances in Group B for all of those teams to maybe come out on top. But there's also a lot of chances that some of them may fall short or just short of the mark.
Mhm. And it's gonna be so interesting too once we start to see these games actually getting played to see where these teams start to fall in the standings as well too. Then we can get a little bit more of a accurate predictions, especially if we start making some power rankings in the near future. That would be definitely some important information to come on in. But we do have already a couple games that have been played, or a couple series that have been played already
Ooh.
this week. So S4GE actually played Dynasty of Farm Animals. So our little piggies and boots actually got taken down 2-0 earlier this week.
Oh.
So S4 already on the board with their first win and going 2-0. So that's in Group A. We've already got some insights there. There was another match over in Group B as well too. I believe it was Fog versus Sin. I'm gonna find the full names there. Syndicate Academy, right? Facing up
Mhm.
against the Fog Devils. And Syndicate actually went away 2-0. So I don't know if it's
Hmm.
enough data yet. Again, you gotta increase your sample size, but a little preview of a good start for both S4 and Syndicate Academy off the bat. But there are more teams I want to see for sure because we've got the team we casted back on January 2nd, who won the entire tournament. That was Miracle, and they're also over in Team B or in Group
Ooh.
B as well too. So it's gonna be so tough to decide which one of these teams are going to be actually the ones we look out for. I do want to ask you guys your predictions in a bit. We're going to save those for the very end. But tonight coming in, right? Week number 1. Obviously, there's been some new stuff coming into the game Valorant, right? As they do, they update things.
Mhm.
Neon is technically available to players out there in solo queue as they play, but for now, will not be available until January 31st here at Victoris. So we'll have to wait just a couple extra weeks, guys. But we are potentially looking at some Chamber, some KO, some Yoru being whipped out tonight. What do we think is going to be our most looked at agents or our most looked at comps here tonight, guys?
Um, I'll let you go first. You know.
So I am really sad that Neon is not going to be available to these players. I have already poked around and seen their games that they're playing during
Hmm.
ranks, and it does look like people are already starting to um, put some time into her, which is exciting because she is definitely going to be a change of pace for the meta, and I think it already has been a change of pace for the meta. But with the agents that we do have available, depending on the maps, I do expect to see a lot of chambers. As we experienced last weekend with me and when we casting chambers were being popped off with the op, also that jet and the chamber together, double opping. Ugh, it was such a killer.
Yeah.
As always, also, I'm glad. Actually, that's a question for you that I have.
Hmm.
Are we in the old patch, new patch?
I
Where we at?
believe we're on patch 4.0, 1 or 2. It's got to be one of
Okay,
the
one.
two.
Yeah.
I'm sure we have a producer with that number on a graphic somewhere too, so we'll get that information
Okay.
in. But it is episode 4, Act 1. So again,
Okay.
we're seeing the reset of ranks coming through. Even scouting some teams tonight, it was a little funny looking at the ranks. I'm like, are we sure we're here? But again, it's just reclimbing up, getting back to where there is, because you can also see peak rank for some of these players, and it's immortals through and through for pretty much the entire board here tonight. But
Yeah.
Wumby, I was going to ask you too, what you hoped on seeing tonight in terms of agents or team comps or kind of strategy from these teams.
Well, just like you Noob said, it's a shame that we don't get Neon into this team. And I
Mhm.
actually last night I watched the last I can't remember which Valorant league. It was on the Victoris channel. It was on Victoris GG2 and I watched that Valorant game and I remember the two casters, God forgive me because I can't remember their names. I'm so sorry. That's not I promise that's not an ego thing. I quite literally cannot remember any of your names
It's
because
all good. It's all good. You're
I
good.
have such a bad memory, but I remember they made so many good points about Chambers as well that I wanted to not add on to but kind of just repeat into this stream is that we did see him last weekend on Sunday and both teams Miracle and I can't remember who else they played again that goes my memory being terrible but I
Mhm.
remember they said something about how Chambers, how a lot of teams, despite Chambers being a sentinel, a lot of teams will play him as a duelist almost. And that's down to I'm guessing his ultimate. You don't really see a lot of people use Chambers for his abilities, like his cars to teleport what between sites, between certain areas around the map. You see them mainly using his ultimate to get easy frags because his ultimate is one of is probably one of the best ultimates to get kills with, in
It's
all
so good.
honesty. It's crazy good, and that's the thing about Chambers that can also be seen as a negative. Despite him being probably, even though he's not a duelist, despite him being one of the best agents to get kills with, um a lot of again that's the thing a lot of people don't use his other abilities to navigate around the map or quickly rotate around sites and they usually overaggress with him and then when he dies then you don't have that insurance operator to teleport back to site or to yeah to teleport back to site especially if you're like on defense and the plan's already
Mhm.
gone down and you need to retake site he's not there and that makes your lineup vulnerable because again like I said he's a sentinel not a duelist and there's a reason for that.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with you on the power of the of the chamber ult. It is insane, and we get to see some really really nice plays with that. But it'd be fun to see some more teleport, more use of the teleport, more creative uses with it as well too. Even and just reminded me back of our first time running our Valorant splits here. The use of some of the Omen TPs. I know there's probably a producer in the background of us right now laughing his face off, who still holds the record for the most watched Omen play for our channel. Um,
Oh
and I'm
man.
just I'm hoping for stuff like that. I'm looking for some big spicy content plays. But we are getting down to the wire now, getting close to actually getting into this first game of the night. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a best of 3 series. There will be predictions up in the Twitch chat so you can bet using your channel points to let us know who you think is going to win. Of course, those V coins, our channel points, will be put to good use at some point soon. Again, any pricing that's coming with our redemptions will be announced at some point in this split. But make sure to start predicting now. Save those coins up because I'm hoping we can give you something very fun. Either way, my friends, with just a few minutes left and us going on to patch 4.01, which I did get confirmed. Thank you to our lovely producer. I want to hear your predictions. Who do we have? Who do you think's winning tonight? Who's taking it home? Cute Noob, we're going to start with you. Who's
Oh,
winning
why do I
and
have to be
by how
first?
many games? Yep. Right in the center first, and then we'll make our way
Okay.
out.
Well, I think I have to go. I think I would be kind of silly not to go for Excelsior, especially them being the champs of the last league, you know. So I'm gonna go with them. I do want to see a fight coming out of Saw. I don't want to be. I don't want it to be nice and quick. I want them to fight their life out. But my heart hurts. Picking a side here, but that's gonna be Excelsior for sure. What about you, Wumby?
Yep. One be next.
Oh,
Let's see what we got.
gosh, I hate predicting because I cast a curse everything that I touch nowadays, especially even on Siege. Siege is my favorite game, even though I don't play it as much as I used to. But I do love a good underdog story, so I am gonna go against your vote, and I'm gonna go for Saw. Even though I know I know I probably shouldn't. I am going to do it anyways because again, they have some really talented players in the teams according to what I've seen of their ranks. North, I said this before. I'm looking out for him. I'm looking out for him to be that aggressive fragger to challenge out Jayco, for that duelist aggressive fragger spot that I just wanna see him perform. I love a good underdog story, but I don't know. I don't really. I did just predict Sauce, so I can't say I don't know. But I am very, very excited for this matchup. Yeah, very
Oh,
nervous.
that's a good one for sure.
Mhm.
I mean, we might just go for the full three of us. I know I want to give the benefit of the doubt to this new team, staring at walls, and you know what? I give them huge props to having a very clever and hilarious logo, but how could I sit here and not put my faith in the champions, the reigning champs who are coming back once again, looking to defend their title? I got to go with Excelsior tonight. Again, I've seen some of the plays that have come out from these guys. I've seen what Jake players like Jaco and Diplo can pull off just solo trading with other players. And then of course the rest of Excelsior, or fake flashers, have always been there to make sure they got some sort of defense there. They're making sure that Cal has that coverage to go and plant. So I'm looking at this well-oiled machine. I gotta put my vote in for Excelsior.
That's a very good vote indeed.
Whew.
I do want to say this before we go into the match. It was actually Chrissy and I think her name was JoJo that cast it last week that made that point about Chambers. And I wanted to give them their credit because that was a very good point and they're both amazing casters. I just wanted to not call it call out. Is that the word? I wanted to give a
Want to
call
give,
out to.
yeah.
There it is. There goes the word. Thank you, see.
Give them
I need
credit.
yeah, there you go. Because I don't want to like plagiarize. We don't do that here. We don't.
Well, we're just waiting on confirmations from the teams to start up right now, but we do have our three maps of the night. We're going to be going on to split for map number 1. Ascent will be map 2, and if we get lucky, we'll be seeing Haven later on tonight. I do believe for this first map of the night, as we head on to split, it will be Excelsior on the defending side for the first one, and then I believe they have opted for offense on the second map. But we're gonna do the ready checks right now. Gonna hit them up with this ready, and if we're good to go, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for game number 1, map number 1 of the VLS season here of spring 2022. Make sure to get those predictions in if you see them up around here, wherever it is in the Twitch sphere of throwing my wires around. But without any further ado, let's get going. Map number 1 on a split.
Let's go. I am so excited for me.
I'm very excited as well. I'm very nervous too because uh this is I think my second match of Valorant that I've casted and it's been with you and I'm excited for you to join me today. I'm so happy that uh that your sickness didn't stop you from casting with me. I'm very happy for that. I'm very blessed because you know a lot more about Valorant than I do and you're also very good at the game too. I
Oh,
so
you're making me blush up. I'm over here like, oh my gosh, yes, keep going, please.
but
Well, it's not about us. It's a team dynamic as far as Saw and Excelsior, and also just us casting together. So, are you kind of nervous about seeing these agent selections right now? Because I'm seeing a double Yoru on the side of Excelsior right here.
yeah. Oh, okay. He switches off of that to go into KO, and we do see a KO on this map regardless. I looked at the neon and I was like, I've never seen the neon is good, but I've never seen him picked over other duelists. And KO is finally locked in for the side of XL, and
Select your agent.
I'm really excited to see how this team comp turns out. We also get Sky as well as the Killjoy and the Astra looks like they're going to be locked in for both teams. And I kind of want to get your opinion of what you think that this could mean. Like the competition, I'm mainly looking at the side of Saw and what their team composition could mean for them because they basically got the same side that Excel have at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, it's almost looking like a mirror matchup, except for that Raze coming out. Both teams have opted to go with that double initiator, being that Sky and KO, which is I haven't seen too much, if I'm being honest, of that double initiator. But
Yeah.
so I'm thinking that they want to be really aggressive since they know that they are going to be on attack first, and I think that they're just trying to get rid of that util on the side of El Sexier with the KO knife as well. So maybe fast place is going to be the hit now.
Yeah, it's curious. You know, I think Zacharias Zacharias is actually supposed to be north, if I'm not mistaken. That kind of caught me off guard because he's actually playing a initiator rather than a duelist, which I expected him to be on. But as long as he can shoot his gun and collect his headshots, I'm pretty sure he's going to be a very important aspect to this team. Like I said, I expect him to be battling it out for that fragging spot between him and Jayco. But it looks to me that the first piece of action is actually going to be through mid, or actually garage. It seems that the attack is focusing on a B push, it looks like, for the side of Excelsior.
Yeah, Sauce playing out the field here. I don't think they're trying to commit too much here as we see the bomb is rotating. They're just trying to pull off some enemies off of mid. I think mid's going to be taking a lot of the action throughout this match because of the lack of Sage not being able to block off there. Will the KO be enough to hold down that mid position? It so far doesn't look like it, as they are making their way over through vents onto a site. But as we can see through the minimap, there's already 3 people holding a heaven because they know that that might be the position where they're going to end up here. The first person going to come into action is going to be Unit, taking that sheriff shot and missing. Oh, but Cal's going to be able to switch that up. And just like that, bodies are falling. A lot of damage being dealt out, and the only person alive now is going to be Wombat, who's now just fighting for his life, and there's nothing that can be done there, as you can see.
Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate. Their rotate, they didn't really, like you said, they didn't really seem to, they didn't want to really force their way into the garage. Maybe they got the call or some type of call that B wasn't the move, and so they wanted to go through, I want to call that area, what is that? Vents. There it is, vents. Oh my gosh, I can't. But they went through vents and tried to like tunnel through A with one another. And one thing that I don't really like within a competitive team, whether this be in any sort of competitive game, is that you kind of like, I don't know, you pummel up with each other. But the first few fights are going to go through mid, EXO grabbing the first kill, and that's actually going to be Jayco, the same player that I said that North one battle to get out with. Jayco needs power fragging himself, but Diplodocus actually grabbing 2 kills.
One enemy remaining.
And Wombat, and oh my god.
Down A.
I can't. Oh.
There is a lot of bodies being dropped, and Zekra is the only one alive. That Boombot going for absolutely nothing at that point. That was an interesting Boombot there. But Zachary just goes down. The problem that I am seeing here, 1B, is that they are trying to aggress one site. And I think that's what you were mentioning, is they're just going for a site without really using up util from El Sexier, or even just like baiting out any positioning.
Yeah, that's one thing. I think last week I've talked your guys' ear off about utility usage, and it was the main reason why I guess that game was so close is because both teams weren't really focusing on utility usage, whereas in this game it's a bit different. One team is using utility and they're using it very well, whereas the other team isn't, and it's biting the team that isn't using their utility in a butt, and it doesn't bode well when you have a team that's, again, using their utility well, and then they're not using their utility whatsoever. On top of that, they're not really winning these gunfights out, and it's almost every single round that I've seen from EXO, or the past 2 rounds that they've won, have been absolutely dominant from them, which says a lot as well.
Yeah, I do like this a little bit like more, because they are trying to bait out, as we saw. We saw Raze using that Boombot mid. Now they're just kind of seeing if they could bait out Jack here at B site. But Jack just doing a good job at holding the angle as opposed to overexposing himself. But Unit's going to be pushing into site now. Bomb is going to be looking like they're going to commit into B site. Jack is being eliminated now. Good for 2 on Unit, and it's a 3-4 on the board. Or I'm sorry, 3-5 on the board. Now looking pretty good for Saw here, as Zachary able to take that heaven control here. Gonna be one more. This grenade gonna be poking out. The only one alive is now eliminated, and finally we're seeing a point on the board for Saw.
I mean, I wanted to talk a little bit about their economy, even though it's only been 3 rounds fully played. Um, the fact I think in that round alone, when I was like looking at the guns that they purchased and the abilities that they did have, it looks like they did an eco round, and then once you do an eco round, and then once you win the following round after that, it puts yourself in a good spot um economically to
Checking the
maybe do a full
situation.
buy this round. And now with the guns that they forced themselves to
About
buy, like
there.
the Spectre, like those pistols that they did have, like the Sheriff and I think the Ghost, but mainly Spectres and a sniper rifle. Jayco getting the first pick of the game, that put themselves in a good spot to full buy this whole round and get some good guns in their hands so that they have a little bit more fairness when it comes to these guns.
Yeah, we also see the operator on Jayco's hand, and we know Jayco is a very scary opponent, as we saw from the past series. So it's going to be hard for Saw to take that mid control, but they're still fighting for it, as we see that the bomb being just kind of swinging around on mid side. KO's knife comes out. I'm sure spots someone, but doesn't exactly know the location. That operator already putting in work, as I stated. That mid position is going to have to be thought out once again for Team Saw as they rotate over to B site. But it's looking pretty grim now here, 1B. What do they do at this point? There's only 2 people alive on Saw.
Shoot back. That's quite literally it. I don't see anything else they can do. It looks like they're gonna rotate through garage into B, but you have one player
30
watching that.
seconds
Once that
left.
call out comes, then the whole team is going to rotate.
Last
through
player
B.
standing.
There goes the first kill for Kill, and he's probably gonna find a second. Nope, that's actually a trade onto him from Swix. Plate Bud, and now Swix is in a gunfight with the player on Raptors. That's Mel. Mel is the newest player here on Excelsior. Can he get this kill or not? And there's also a player rotating through garage. Final player. As the call out again does come out, and Jack is able to get the last kill of that round, making this a 3-1 scoreline for Excelsior. I mean, what can you do at this point? There was nothing they could have done in that round, but what can they do in this following round to, I don't know, what can they fix? Like, what is the main issue that's persisting here?
Well, the one they do have on the board was when they baited out positions from El Sexier and kind of baited them to go into the opposite site and were patient with pushing onto a site. They also bought a lot of time on the clock as well. The one problem that they are finding right now is that the operator is in the hands of one of the strongest players on the side of El Sexier. So what you want to do is make sure that you spot out where the operator is and go the opposite side. And just like that, we see them. They're going to be hitting that A site. Unfortunately, though, they don't have a pick and they don't really know the positioning. They know Jack is in greens, but they don't have the site clear. They're going to be roaming into the site and making sure that site is clear. As it is, bomb will be coming down. And we see Jack kind of just scrolling along from mid, kind of coming back and regrouping with the team. Heaven is not in their control, which is going to be a problem for Saw here, as a lot of Yuto is going to be coming down from a sexier side, and it's going to be just having to hold down angles and trading kills here.
Just missed out on kills. For his team, and he's gonna miss some key shots. That Sky, what? How is that Sky still alive? And then unit to grab another kill. Oh my god! It's the lack of attention, paid attention, or lack of attention made onto A site, and it's just given up so easily to Saw. And the retake here from Excelsior failing miserably, as the bomb is just gonna go off. There's no way they can get it now. Jack is gonna get 2 kills for himself, but it's for not, as the attackers end up winning that round. And it's now Saw just 1 point or 1 round behind Excelsior. I mean, like you explained it perfectly well there. They didn't really rush ahead. They didn't really do what they did on those last 3 rounds that they've lost, and that's rush straight into the guns of Excelsior. Instead, they rotated, well, Excelsior, I mean Jayco, and also some other players who are performing pretty well for them as well. And that's, they rotated away from those gun sites and instead focused on a site that wasn't, well, nearly as manned as B was or as mid was, and they capitalized on the lack of, again, not a lack of attention, but the lack of action taken by Excelsior.
Yeah, but Jayco, once again, is going to be a menace with the operator and going to pick off already unit off of Saw here, but the bomb isn't going to be making its way there. Actually, Wombat is lurking up a site where Sky is holding on screen. The question is, are they going to see each other? And I think they just caught a glimpse of one another. But that push from Jaco is going to for sure give that info that there is no one near B site. So all of the bodies will be rotating. The site isn't taken up yet, but Astra goes into site and now is going to be clearing it. And that good pick by Scuba, making sure that Heaven is in control. And we're going to have a lurker. If you can see over at mid here, 1B, we have KO as the lurker, which I really enjoy because he's going to be able to take that mid control, also Heaven control, if his team is getting really pinched. He needs to go a little bit quicker though because the bomb is planted, and as you can see, there's 3 people already Heaven, 1 person screen. That ult is coming down from Raze, and 1 person's going to be going down. It's going to be a 3v2. Make that a 1. The last person alive is the lurker, who now has Heaven control, is going to see 1, but the aim from Male is just too clean, and that is going to secure the point for Excelsior.
Man, I'm sorry if you heard my wheeze. I didn't mean to wheeze like that. It
No.
caught me off guard. But that could have been the round. Well, not the round, but that could have been a really good play from Zachariah the KO rotating through mid. But unfortunately, again, it's the lack of initiative taken by him. I've taken by him, or his lack of the lack of speeding up really. And I know that might be harsh to say, but if he would have sped up just a little bit there, because the spike was already planted, the only thing Excelsior has to do in that situation is to get on to retake site, to get on the site and defuse that spike. And KO wasn't really, the KO Zachariah wasn't really taking the initiative on that post plant.
The Viper's Pit's being used up mid here to take that mid control, and they're actually going to be pushing out. 1 man already down for the side of Saw, but the B side is going to be the side. Jaco says, no, you're not coming in. He's good for 1, but isn't able to get the second one as Swix gets that nice sheriff kill, and now it's a 3v4. Bombs getting planted. KO has a flash available, actually 2 available, and now it's going to be a post plant retake for Team Excelsior. They have a lot of util. They also have some bodies. That Knife gonna get some intel here. Yup, all 3 on site. Dogs coming in as well, gonna be sunning 1. That position by Male with the operator, but Male is going to be going around, and that is it. They clean up so well, 1B.
That was really cool. Oh my god, that cleanup, I didn't even know they cleaned that up. That's how clean that cleanup was. That was crazy. I didn't even recognize the mess. That's how you know that the cleanup was that clean. I'm sorry, that was such a bad pun, but a good round coming in from Excelsior, and I mean the plant was okay. It was just the post plant that wasn't that great, and Excelsior was allowed to dominate. But I mean, in that position,
should I play some?
It's in that position when the team, when the defending team has control of mid and also Raptors. What else can the attacking team do in that situation when they've already planted and they don't really have much map control past, you know, the part where they've planted? I don't know. It's just, that was a hard round for them to win, and kudos to them for trying, but unfortunately, Excelsior continuing their dominance in this round, Jaco grabbing the first pick yet again. I mean, come on.
They definitely need to get rid of that operator in the hands of Jaco, because he is being a menace. He is always also taking out Unit, which I feel like is going to be a running on a fight. Because I feel like Unit's almost at this point gonna be like, okay, I need to get rid of this guy. So it's gonna be a battle, which is gonna be nice to see, either to continue on this map and also on the future maps. But the bomb is making its way B, where I like they got a lot of attention on A site, as you can see, 3 people on A site. The KJ lockdown coming out, but KO Male is up in Male, no pun intended. He's just up there chilling. As Viper's making its way over, they're gonna have enough time to plant the bomb, and this time around though, 1B, they're gonna have a lot more site control, which is going to be in their advantage. And as we see Cal's gonna come into contact. That flash is gonna get 2. Is good for 2. He doesn't know there's someone behind him, 1B! Oh!
Oh my god, Cal getting that pick, and it's just a sneaky little rotate. I think how can he not figure that out. J-Cole is able to get the kill into Swix, and J-Cole's going to be defusing the bomb. Last player looks like he's just going to be running away. I mean, what else can he do? Yeah, he's just going to stay alive and keep his life away. He's not
And
going
his
to...
weapon.
Yeah, and his weapon. I mean, that's also very important. Again, I mean, they have enough... Oh, no, I'm so sorry. I'm looking at the top of the scoreboard, which is where Excel is, and I was looking at their creds, and I was like, "What? How come
I
they
got
have
enough
so many
time to go
creds?"
into the Astro
Nah,
Fall.
I mean, that doesn't bode well for their economy now, does it? It leaves them in kind of a sticky situation. I'm looking
Right
at
there.
what type.
Right
I mean,
there.
they're really good ability-wise. They have some
Clear to
decent
engage.
guns on the
Weapons
board.
hot.
I think the Astra actually does have her ultimate ready, her Cosmic Divide, or I think what is the ultimate?
Yep, Cosmic Divide.
Found one.
Okay, yeah, the Cosmic Divide, but yeah, this round is gonna go ahead and start, and it looks like they're focusing on the B push. First kill goes in the way of Mill. This time, J. Cole not being able to get his first pick, and then Jack is going to be taken out with the trade by Swix.
Yeah, two ultimate, actually, Seekers were coming out of that as a Male is the last one alive. Very low on health, but Jaco's holding that angle. Oh, the nades! The nades caught just a little bit of Male as he went down to his own teammate, Jaco. But it's a 3v2. Swix and Sky are the only ones alive. They are good for two. The last man alive is Diplo. We know Diplo has done some great things in the past. The question is, can he do so now? As no util is available, we have a flash coming in from Scuba. Knows the direction of where Diplo is. Time is running down. This cross angle here is going to be the key, but Diplo's good for one, good for two. Diplo has the clutch gene. 1B?
No. Is the bomb? No, it's not. He got it. Okay, that's unfortunate. I was gonna. That's so heartbreaking. Can I take back my prediction?
No, it's too late.
No, come on. You know, I'm not positive in a lot of things, but I would like to be positive in my predictions, please.
You know what? I like the fact that you went for the underdogs, and I do think that Saw has a chance. The problem is, this is a solution for Saw. You get rid of Jaco, and not just Jaco, but Jaco and his operator. You bait out a site, and you stop force buying, because if you look at their economy is trash. You have a lot of light shields. Jaco's able to get 2 picks off you, and you're now left in a 3v5 where you're at a disadvantage. You need to bait out things. They're not baiting out things, and Jaco is taking advantage of that.
Oh my god. I mean, how can you stop him? I don't know how.
It's unstoppable.
All you gotta do, I mean, the only way they can stop him is if they DDoS him. And I don't even know if they got the skill to do that. That's not a pun. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being dead serious. I don't even know.
No.
Can they DDoS? If they can,
No.
then this would be the perfect time to do it.
We do not encourage that. Don't do that.
Don't do it, but like if you can, this would be the time. Because Jaco is absolutely tearing them up, and we expected him to do good, but I didn't expect him to do like this good. It's insane. And I mean, again, what can you do against a player who's just dominating you like this? It's easier said than done to be like, oh, just shoot back. He's gonna go.
30
my God,
seconds
he's probably
left.
gonna get another double right here. There you go. There goes one.
KO's ultimate also being thrown out here as well. The bomb gonna be going over into a site. A flash goes out, doesn't spot Diplo, but Diplo's gonna be holding this cheeky angle. Is going to go for that ultimate, and Jaco's also there to help clean up the mess. It's a 8-2. But we keep highlighting Jaco, but come on, guys. 13-4-1 on the board. Operator maxed out. Kred's ultimate also in hand. And if we look at Saw, they are in a rough buy here. They've been buying after buying after buying, and finally they've met their end. They're having to go with sheriffs, some heavy shields. Just try to save up for the following round if they can. They do have some ultimates, but it's probably not the best round. And also, something that's not helping is, Wombat doesn't have a kill right now on the board, and that could be kind of mentally, kind of hard on your mental when you don't have a kill, and your entry frag is constantly trying to entry and going down with no trade here. Jack good for one. The bomb's not even going to be making its way there anymore because it's probably not the right choice. And with that high mental that Jacob does have, he's going to be pushing out here mid along with Male, who's going to be swinging on first. baiting out for his own teammate.
One
Nade's
enemy
coming out.
remaining.
Hopefully he doesn't kill his own teammate once again. No, he doesn't. Misses that shot, so it's a good opportunity for Wombat, but no, he is not able to get the kill, and the operator's still in play.
Last
Yeah,
round in the half.
You said it, mental is a very powerful thing in any sport, and it's very important that your mentals are high just so that you can play as good as you do. And right now it's clear enough that the mental is not with Saw. Also, the scoreboard does tell a whole different story. You do have a bunch of players doing their jobs on the side of Excel. A lot of them are like going positive. The only player who's going negative is Kel, and that's not even really negative. He's 7 and 8. And then when you look at Saw's scoreboard, it's just it's a totally different story, and it's clear like none of them are going positive.
Oh.
It's hard. I hate saying it like that. I promise they're all good players. Jayco again getting that kill, but immediately traded out by unit. It's just unfortunate, and I know their mentals are in the mud.
Well, this might be the round here, 1B. As you saw, Jacob finally is down. The operator's no longer in sight, although there's only 2 players left for Team Saw here. As we see, they are a little bit separated here. Astra holding that mid position, and Mail takes them out. It's just left to Swix. Can Swix make a miracle happen? No, Cal shuts it down with the Odin. And unfortunately, I think this is a case of
Switching sides.
we talked about this at the start of the stream, and it's that Excelsior has came back. They were the champs of the last series, so I think it's a lot of case of we've played together, we know the vibe, we have played a whole tournament, a whole 3 months of competitions together, so they have that vibe, they have that mental, they have that communication, whereas Saw is a brand new team, as we've seen here. I don't know, we don't have a lot of background information on them, but they're also not as high in skill level. A lot of these players are plat 2, maybe diamond 1, some even peaked immortal, but a lot of the side of Excelsior, they are all immortals plus. So I think it's kind of I hate to say it, a mismatch of skill, as we can see, but with that, they are taking A site in control finally. We do see that the only man down is Unit on the side of Saw here, finally, but no, Swix is good for 2 here. His low on Hal, Jack just poking around on A main, able to get Scuba down. And we're on the second half here, so Excelsior is attacking. The bomb is down. It's Saw needs to do something here.
Yeah, it's 2 players in Saw versus 3 players of Excel, and you mentioned like the skill gap, but it's just it has to be the confidence.
1 enemy
especially
remaining.
when you feel it. I have to explain it in a little bit, but the last player is in mid, or not even mid. Sorry, Raptors. He's just gonna run away from the bomb that's exploded, and that's actually going to be Zachary killed by the explosion, even though he did try to run away from it. It's the skill gap, but it's also you can tell when how do you explain it? Like when you know that you're in a mismatch, or when it's not even when you know that you're in a mismatch, when you're being like dominated so much. Oh, you give up. That's it.
Yeah.
It feels like they've kind of given up, and it's like they've like their mentality in this game has just been punched and like shot at, and they don't know what to do to kind of like mend or fix it. And you know, Valorant, as much as it is an FPS, is a mental game, just like any other esports game that exists in the whole world.
Yeah, I could totally see what you mean. I mean, right now, B-Site is left completely alone. It looks like they're trying to play for retake, which could be the recipe for success if they are able to get some kills here. First, Mail is going to be clearing out all of the site, but right around the corner is Swix, who's going to be trying to go for this kill. Diplo good for 1, Jaco good for 1 as well, and now they're just fickling out. Wombat's the only one alive, and Excelsior just dominating and going for every single kill that they possibly could.
Match point.
Yeah, this isn't looking good. They're on match point. It's 12 and 2. And Excelsior doesn't look like they're about to slow down. Not at all. It's stressing me out for Saw.
Let's take a breath. We got this. We're the casters. We're not. We're
Like
not in the action.
I just
Well,
drunk
we
some
kind of
lemonade
are.
and it went down the wrong way. That's why it
Oh
sounds like I'm
no.
out of breath. But nah, it's a bit unfortunate because you can see that Saw does have potential, but unfortunately, like it's the difference in class between two teams. It's the difference in skill that's being shown right now, and it's unfortunate, but you know, we move and the game has to go on.
Absolutely. The bomb being just left out in what is this? Market here as Cal gets a little aggressive, takes down Zachary over at A site. One bat holding down that A ram, trying to make sure that they don't push into site. Jaco just throwing some nades because he knows someone's there and could. We're gonna get a little bit of action over on Mail. Finally, Scuba shutting down Jaco and Swix also able to clean up Mail. It's looking nice and shiny for the side of Saw as they finally may be able to get their first defense point down. Unit catches Cal right off guard, and now it's all left to Diplo and Jack, who's making his way over onto A site. I wonder if Diplo knows that Jet is on site here. He's just holding off vents because I think he knows Wombet's there. So
30
it's
seconds
kind
left.
of awkward. They haven't clear sight. They're kind of thinking Astroform here for Jack as he's going to play some stars to provide some protection for this A site take, some pull, and just like that, Diplo's aim is just too good for Unit, and Unit goes down. For 13 seconds on the board, it's going to be enough time for the plant to be
10
the
seconds
bomb
left.
to be planted, but now it's going to be a retake for Saw. They do have the man advantage. As far as utility, I am wondering what utility is available. Swix has no utility available. Maybe a turret if they wait a couple seconds, but time is ticking. And it's going to have to be a push on site. A flash comes down, gonna be peeking elbow where both teams are gonna be swinging off. It is good for one, but doesn't clear the second. It's a 1v1, a Sky versus Sky. Scuba versus Diplo here. A flash coming out, doesn't spot anyone. The time needs ticking. It needs to tap the bomb. It's going to try to get it halfway. Doesn't get it halfway. He's going to tap it twice. And just like that, Diplo buys enough time. Gets the knife to end the
Attackers
match.
win.
Oh, man.
I've never seen, you know, it's the first time for everything. That's the first time I've ever seen somebody do that in like the last few seconds. It looks nice, but the scoreline for Saw does not look nice right now. It's 13-2, and we are going to go ahead and go into the match, next map. And I mean, for Saw, this is one to just take under the chin and just forget about. Not really forget about. You can't forget about it, but just move past it and take it.
Well. Welcome back. What a game number one, Cute Noob and 1B. Wow. Defending champs coming in, showing us what's what in a very dominant fashion. And again, that was one of the names, we were looking out for that we mentioned on the desk earlier tonight. Jaco with that op finishing with 17 plus frags by the end of that. What is going on out there? FF, formerly FF, now Excelsior, are feeling themselves, guys. Oh my. So, getting ready for game two, heading on to Ascent. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of things that Staring at Walls need to get in touch with before this next game to hopefully bring us to that game three. What does that have to be, Cute Noob?
A little more aggressiveness coming out from Staring at the Wall. I know that, starting off the first map not going your way and being your choice could be a little bit rough. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was Saw's choice, right? Split.
I believe so. Yeah, Split
Yeah.
was theirs because they were home side. So that makes things, again, a little challenging knowing you picked that map, you went on there. But I don't want to, give Saw too much of a hard time because, again, defending champs that came in, and a lot of times that we saw from Excelsior when they were fake flashers, you guys saw too, defending side, they have a lot of strength on that and they know to play to those advantages. They know to be patient, and that controlled aggressiveness, knowing when to go in and do a retake, is something that we see a lot of times from these players. So I love the fact that we get to see that patience back, but There's got to be some answer. Cute Noob, I know I heard you on the cast too mentioning Jaco's got to go down. Wumby, what about you? What does Saw have to do here in order to pull it back to a game 3?
You mentioned it. A little bit more aggression, a little bit more initiative. I would love to see it from the side of Saw Gaming. There are a lot of times where like well, not a lot of times, but yeah, actually, a lot of times where when they planted the diffuser, or not the diffuser, I'm thinking of Siege again, Siege brain, but when they planted the spike, or when a spike was planted against them, they took so long to like rotate to the site, or they took so long to move themselves into positions where they could have a one up on Excel, and it just one round that I can think of that was key to me when was when it was one I can't remember which round it was. There's a lot of rounds of Valorant, but
There were.
it was when yeah, it was when Saw planted the spike down in A, and there was a KO Zachary, I believe it was, rotating through mid, and he took a lot of time. I felt like he took way too long to move himself up through vents to rafters, where most of I get there's like a lot of players in rafters, but if you have a player behind you, it's going to make them panic. And I feel like he took too long to rotate to make a play happen. Whether he could have gotten a kill or not, at least try to make something happen to the point where it disrupts the side of Excelsior, because Saw they didn't really do a lot to stop them. And
Mhm.
I get it's the skill gap, but still.
Know what? Week 1, map 1. Hopefully, we're all warmed up, ready to get into this next one because these players are ready to go. We'll have to see if we are going to see that game 3 tonight, but on to Ascent we go. And I do believe we are going to have Excelsior starting on the attacking side first this time. So while they're classically stronger on that defending side, we'll see if staring at walls have a little bit of advantage here in the first half. Hopefully, they can pull something back, but Cute Noob 1B sending it back to you guys. Best of luck with this one, and let's see how game number 2 is going to go.
All right, map 2 for us, folks. Ascent coming out here, nice and fresh. The choice of Excelsior. We're gonna see Saw on defense here. Some agents. Who do you want to see here, Wumby?
I do want to see an Omen. An Omen. I do want to. I'm expecting to see a Sova. I am expecting to see. I do see the Sova locked in. I'm expecting to see an Astra. I do want to see Viper. Because the one thing about Ascent, I've said it. I think I said it last week. I don't think anybody remembered, but like I said that on Ascent, a lot of the times for defenders, it's the main key for defenders on Ascent is to slow down the attackers as much as possible, or to burn their utility to the point where when it's time for them to use their utility on site, they don't have the utility to use because it's already burned out by the defenders. So one operator that I think that could be, or two, is maybe Astra again, that we do see picked for both teams, and the Viper. Also, the side of KO is really good for slowing down attackers or defenders, whether that be retaking site or attacking the site in general. And I am expecting to see maybe a Raze or a Chambers at least. I don't know. That seems a little bit
Choose your
salty.
agent.
I am expecting to see a saucy. I expect to see Chambers.
Yeah,
Chambers.
it'd be cool. Zachary here, kind of hovering over Chamber. Not sure if he's gonna actually lock it in. I'm hoping that he does because it's gonna be okay. He changed it on us last second. Actually, gonna be Phoenix for the flashes because on the side of Saw, as we saw, no pun intended, they didn't have any flashes here, so they are gonna go with that Phoenix flash, which I think they definitely need. On the side of Excelsior, it's gonna be more of a controller kind of base map. They do have two initiators, which is the Soba and the KO, as we saw. And with that last game, they were really successful with double initiators. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they use them on attack first, as opposed to seeing them on defense, like we saw them on split. And on the side of Saw, I want them just to hold down sites. I do enjoy that they brought out that Killjoy. Killjoy can lock down either A or B site very efficiently. If the util is there to be used, as well as Soba with the shock bolts can hold it, and as you said, the Astra as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. Like, I think Sova is probably one of my favorite ops or agents on this map, just because of his recon boats and his Hunter's Fury. There's a lot of walls and a lot of like tight corners on this map where his recon boats are very powerful, as you see them being used on this side of B or in B main, as well as yeah, B main. That's the most popular spot where those recon boats are used, but it seems as though, I want to say, it's kind of like a split take. You see players in A lobby, a player in B lobby, and then I think one player just in the middle of mid, just watching out for maybe any players crossing over there with his pistol or his gun. He started with pistols though, in the very first round. So yeah, pistols.
Yeah, it was more of a default play. Now they're going to be opting to go into this B site where the recon bolt is going to spot them. Once again, shock bolts being thrown out by Scuba, but no damage was being dealt. 2 men go down for the side of Saw, and now the bomb is being planted. It's a B hit for sure, as they're going to be playing post plant here. Mail, I do like the aggressiveness from Mail here, pushing out into garage, but Unit's Sheriff just meets his end. Turret being used as a info place as well here, as Wombet's trying to get more access into the site, but Jaco is nice and scary on the Jet as he is on the Raze.
That was well, yeah, it was almost a flawless round from XL, only losing the one player in the KO, Mel getting over aggressive and then being punished for it. Not that it was a bad play, it's what we want to see, but I mainly wanted to see it from Saw, and it's not like they didn't do enough in that round. I felt like they did enough to keep themselves in it. It's just, again, it's that skill gap we talked about. Excelsior are just
Quick peeks now.
far better in terms of like what we've seen them achieve as well, or what we've heard that they've achieved.
Yeah, they're also very aggressive, as we saw map 1, and just like that, it's going to be a finish into the round 2. I am so glad, 1B, that we're not on the Ares meta, because I don't know if you played any games during the Ares meta, but it was the most horrendous thing. We can actually cast it during the Ares meta.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Everyone and their moms. Yeah, pulled out pulled out the Ares. It was loud.
Like,
Keep it
better
cool.
than the Phantom and Vandal at one point. I remember that, and then they had to nerf it because of it. Oh man, that's crazy. I do know what you're talking about though. It's been a while since I've seen the Ares play. Being nerfed and good on Riot,
No charge
Valorant, but it's not going to be as fast of a round as it was last time. Obashata, thank you. Because that was really, really quick and really unfortunate for Saw Gaming, as we've said so many times.
Instead, it's going to be more slow, even pace, since both teams do have full ARs and shields available to them. But the control of Tree is going to be in favor of Excelsior, as they are moving it through, but one man down is already happening. Mail, though, making his way through A main here, able to kill that Swix here, and now full control of it. It's going to be a retake for Saw, as they're going to use that drone to gather some information. Also, Phoenix's wall coming out, trying to divide the site and get some damage. Zachary just shooting at Hell, trying to get some, maybe some damage there, maybe some intel if someone's there. Jack gonna be holding that generating position. The unit peeking. Jack's headshot level is just too good. Now it's a 1v1. Jack's the only one alive. Hot hands, one flash coming out. Ooh, the KJ lockdown to try to buy some time here is going to be rotating over to Heaven, where Jack is holding the position, going to be pushing. He has to hold the bomb if he wants to make it count, but no, Jack buys just enough time, and that is the 3rd point. Already on a 3-win streak here, 1B.
I mean, that round was very close for Saw. I will give them that. They showed a lot of fight in that round, and unfortunate for them, it just doesn't pay off. And that actually, I think they saved the round before that, and then they did. I don't know if it was like a full save or a forced buy round that they tried to do. But after that, they did full buy in the last round that we just saw, and that's not really good enough for their economy. Now they're going to have to force buy where they're just buying pistols and some. Well, yeah, they bought all their abilities and then pistols, and now they're gonna be a leg down for this round, and it's gonna the gun advantage is in the advantage of XL at the moment.
Yeah, this is going to be more of a round of let's just try to get some damage, maybe even get lucky and get a weapon off their hands and use it to our advantage at this point for Saw. Is there any player that you're expecting to do a little bit more for the side of Saw here, 1B?
I was really impressed with Unit, I would have to say, even though he didn't his stats in I would say his stats last map fell onto Unit. That was the player that I was just talking about. But
Last
Unit really
player
impressed
standing.
me on Split. There goes the kill from Zachariah as he's the only person left in this 1v4 situation. Keiko just jumping up and down, and he gets the kill. That would tilt me. I know it would. I have such, I don't know why, but my patience for just people like jumping up and down like that just wears thin, and I could get like really upset. But I would say I said Unit, and the reason why I said Unit was because despite him having like not having the best KD in the last map, I saw him probably playing the most aggressive out of anybody on Saw, and there were a lot of times where yes he did die first, but it looked like he was just trying to take gunfights, and he was trying to take gunfights, and he was trying to help his team get a leg up early round, whereas it seemed like almost a lot of the players on the side of Saw just weren't really doing that. They moved a lot too slow, whereas Unit was like probably the fastest team, grabbing the first kill of this match so far, putting Saw a leg up early on.
Yeah, Saw's definitely, I mean, Unit's definitely trying to do something for his team as we see him holding down Tree here. One man down already for Excelsior, which is a good thing for Saw here as they hold down a position. The bomb has not committed anywhere, and I do like how Saw's just holding down their angles here. Unit not being overzealous and peeking mid here. I think Jaco knows that he's there though, so they're gonna meet at some point. I don't know when, but they're gonna meet eventually. Jaco though decides that maybe that's not the site, and the bomb was making its way over at B site where Dippo had a little bit of space. But
Spike
Unit
down
peeks
mid.
just
One
at the
enemy
right time.
remaining.
Is going to be good for
30
one.
seconds
One
left.
bet able to finally secure a kill over at mid. And now it's all left to Cal, who goes down to Unit. What did they do successfully there, 1B?
I think it was a sense of Excelsior being a little too cheeky that round. They I'm guessing for Saw what they did a little bit too differently was it's not like they didn't do this before and they didn't get completely stomped by EXO, because it's happened before where they'll wait for them to come to them, but in this case it kind of paid off where they waited for EXO to come to them. EXO over aggressed and they got punished for
Get
it.
out of my way.
And you can count that to them just being a little bit overconfident and a little bit too cheeky for their own good.
Well, they are definitely not overpeaking this time around as they default once again. The bomb is over at B site, but no one is down yet. A lot of info is being gathered though on mid site by Unit, not seeing a soul in sight. So gonna be pushing out just a tad bit. That point does get picked up there by Diplo, who's gonna get some intel over for Saw there. There's a man here. Nobody's being over-rotated, which I like a lot. I think this is what kind of led to their success, was the fact that they did not over-rotate or peek too much. Unit knows that there's no one in sight, and as Cal places down those stars, they're gonna get information that they are going to be there.
Yeah, here goes power of the controller. I love controller plays just as much as I love jet plays, but they are going to rush right into sight. You see them converting 2 kills from unit. I mean, I bragged about him, and he proved me right. Thank you, unit. He grabbed the third, but he's going to be taken out by J-Co, the same player who was overperforming again on split, now grabbing 2 kills for himself last round, but he gets taken out by Wombat. Jack gets the trade, and it's now a 2v1 for the side of Jack. It's a, oh, bring it back. There we go, Jack. I mean, no, that's not Jack. That is, who is that? Zachariah. Jack is gonna miss some key shots, and he's going to grab the kill on this Jack. He brought it back, but it's only 2 rounds left for the side of Saw to actually be on the same terms as Excel are right now.
Yeah, Zachary, finally, I mean, I feel like, and I don't know, what do you feel? I feel like that was a little bit of an excess using that running back. It was a 2v1. I don't know how much trust there was there for his teammate to have to pop that ultimate, but regardless, I guess that point was on the side of Saw, and they desperately needed it. They desperately needed it because their economy was looking pretty rough here. I do enjoy seeing that KJ with the Odin on this map, because there is so much wallbang ability. It is used a lot, so I really enjoy seeing Swix using that. I'm surprised that even Soba doesn't have the Odin, but you know, I guess it's okay as long as someone's getting the job done. And with that job done, 1B is able to get that kill. Hunter's Fury coming out as Zekri gets picked off here. The kill goes down. It's going to be 1 left charge here, and is going to ping off Wombat there on mid. The bomb, I do really enjoy this rotation. A flash goes out, but unit is just out of range. Is going to be doing some damage. Is able to get 1. Is he able to 2? He's going to be able to get 2, but Diplomat cleans off there. It's a 2v3 in favor of Saw. Another looking pretty good as Swix, once again talking about that Odin, cleans up. It's 1 man standing now. Diplo making his way over to 8. Knows there's a man there. I don't know if he's going to commit here, but is creeping his way over. 2 shock bolts in his purse if needed to be used. Or I shouldn't say purse, because I don't. Yeah, it's his purse. His satchel. 4 bullets left in the chamber. The bomb needs to get planted. 16 seconds on the board. He knows that no one's aggressing him because that drone is going to be pinging him. Recon bolt going to be sent out right in the position. Doesn't know there's 2 men there. He's going to peek over, but Wombat able to get aggressive and get that point.
You know, I talk about Siege a lot, but if this were Siege, that would have been a team kill onto the Astra, who was just defusing, just so that the player who killed her would defuse instead. But you can't team kill in this game, so unfortunately we don't see that. But they're just, I mean, it's a good fight back that we're seeing from Saw. It's a lot different than what we've seen on their own map pick of Split, and it's just it's turned into something beautiful for them on Ascent. I mean, again, you know, I said Unit didn't have a good scoreboard on Split last game that we just saw, and now he's 11-6. He's really taking the fight to Excel, and he's winning most of them, and it's amazing to see. I mean,
another thing that's amazing is the fact that this was Excelsior's pick, whereas the last map was actually Saw's pick. So they're kind of flip-flopping here. We saw that last weekend too.
That's very true. I'm liking it though. I mean, I'm loving the, like I said, I love the fight back that we've seen from Saw. They're not just standing. Okay, there goes the first kill from Jay. I was confused to be like, oh, they're not just standing back and like looking at them, but they have an early advantage in this round. There goes Zachariah to grab the first kill for his team, making this an even man count. And it looks to, yep, that's a full 8 take, and the plant is probably going to go down very, very soon. As I mean, it's hell trying to retake site on Ascent, and it's going to be hell for Saw to try and retake their own site on Ascent.
Cosmic Divine coming out here from Cal. They're gonna be having, Saw is gonna be having to push this wall because the time is ticking. Oh, KO trying to hold that angle, but that was not the case. That was so clean, Wumby.
You don't see it, but my mouth is wide open. I actually cannot believe. I just said that this map is very hard to retake site on, and they retake site like it's that easy. it's that easy. It's not easy to retake site on Ascent, but they made it look incredibly easy. They were it was not only very quick and easy looking, but that was so smooth. Like I think what was it? Zachariah got a kill with one of his abilities. Like I can't remember which one was it. I think it was like the little, I can't remember what that is called, but it's like the flame ball that Phoenix does have. I get a bunch of kills with that too.
Flashes, yes.
Yeah, out of luck for no reason, but when I shouldn't be. But he got a kill from that, and then after that, there was just a bunch of other kills that came around. That was just smooth retake. I love that. It was just a lot of good things that happened for the side of Saw.
So it's an even match here, and now Jaco gonna be having to get a little more aggressive than we have seen him since the first map. That Lockdown's also gonna come into sight as they're gonna be full in control of B side. B side's gonna be clear. It's gonna have to be a retake for Saw. We've seen them do it before, nice and clean. Can they do it this time is the question. We shall find out. Unit good for 2. Once again, we've given praises to Unit, and Unit is just carrying on that little jet backpack here. 22 health for Zachariah, but that was the run it back, so no worries. He is still in the game. 4-2, people left alive for Team Excelsior, as they're gonna have to wait and waste as much time as possible in order to be able to secure this point, but that's not gonna be possible as Zachary cleans up that the site.
I actually cannot believe that was a good. I mean, I don't know if you saw it. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody saw that actually. That was a really good flank from Unit, and we keep singing his praises, but I mean, he's going 13-8, and he's doing a really good job of doing it. Even though he didn't do it like this in Split, he's doing it in Ascent, and I'd argue that Ascent and Split are kind of like the same map to me, despite Split being like bigger. But he's doing it in this map, and it's so I said it before, it's so refreshing to see. But oh, okay, that's not refreshing to see. Diplo grabs the first kill into Zachariah, and it's putting them in an early advantage. But I mean, again, I'll talk about it next round, but this round has just started, and it looks to be a B main push from the side of Exos.
I also want to talk a little bit about the scoreboard. As we can see, it looks like everyone is doing their job on the side of Saw. That's something that we didn't see last map, 1B. And they are definitely using a lot of the util as well. I know you talked about that before in previous matches, which is a lot of teams don't use a lot of util for team fights, but it looks like they are doing a phenomenal job here as Scuba picks off. The bomb is going over to A, where Scuba is going to be having a little angle here on Tree. That drone's going to come in for a little more intel, just to, once again, the util being used at the proper time. Jack's going to get pinged. Recon bolt coming out. It's going to be a 3v4. We have 2 people in Hell. Hell's going to have to get covered, as well as Wine. The men in Wine are just holding it down here, as well as Generator and Diplo. Diplo's just showing us how scary that Marshall is.
Yeah, a good round coming in from EXO. It was, I would say that it was still pretty close, but I felt like they didn't really, like, they've been going for that B push for so long, and they went for the A push. I think they really didn't go for the A push as much as they went for the B push. They finally go for the A push, and what do you know, it works out for them because there's not a lot of site presence from Saw at A. And again, Unit being one of the first players to go down, I wouldn't say really depleted their chance of winning that round, but it most definitely didn't answer it.
Oh, Hunter's Fury needing some action straight off the bat as Diplo is able to get Zachary down. That's the second time Diplo gets Zachary. I'm sure there's some personal vendetta going on there. But what is happening is that retake on B site. The bomb is getting planted. And just like that, it's going to be a retake from CT as well as Market. But Mail is holding that cheeky angle up close. Going to get the kill. And now Scuba is pushing onto site. We do have a flank coming in from KJ here over on mid side. Jack being a little sneaky and trying to get a pick off Market. Gonna go the long way, but Jaco says, hey, that's mine. No cheating.
another round this time. It's
Last
2 rounds
round
in a row
before
this
the
time
switch.
for Excel, and despite Saw having those five fantastic rounds, those 5 rounds out of nowhere that nobody was expecting from them. It's 2 rounds, like I said, for Excelsior, and they're looking very strong coming into this last round before the swap, as we can see on our screens. And honestly, I mean, once they make that last swap, if I'm Saw, I'm very proud with myself for grabbing 5 rounds anyway,
Get out of my
because I
way.
would say that attacking on this map is very, not easy,
Placing
but it's,
swarm grenade.
I would say,
Swarm
the
grenade
more
turret
favorite
destroyed.
side on Ascent rather than defense.
Well, we're gonna see right after this match, or this round specifically, but it looks like the bomb's gonna be making its way onto a site where there is Jaco goes down to Unit, where Unit and Wombat are holding it down a little more defensively now, as the bomb is rotating over. I think they kind of expected that from Excelsior here, because as you can see, Wombat was already on the way making his rotation, but Eunice still holding down tree. They're not exactly too sure. I do like that lurk from KO here on a site, maybe thinking, hey, somebody might push
Spike
out.
down B.
Zachary takes the pick here and knows exactly where the bomb is, but oh, they give up the bomb, which could be a mistake here. But actually, scratch that,
30
Unit
seconds
is
left.
able to get that kill on Jay. And Diplo trading it off. These kills are way too fast. I think it might have been a little bit of a oopsie daisy on the side of Saw to give up the bomb here, because now the bomb is in rotation, where Wombat is going to be holding down. I do like this sneaky angle that Wombat's going to be
10
holding
seconds
down
left.
here. Here in Wine, he's gonna wait for the plant.
One
As soon as the
enemy
plant goes
remaining.
down, he's gonna take a
Spike
kill
down
here.
A.
Now KO is the only one alive. Male is having to fight 3, but the time runs out.
One
And that
enemy
was
remaining.
phenomenal. Oh, is he gonna get the 4th? Oh, I like that. I like that. That was
Switching
a statement
sides.
right there, 1B. A statement.
Oh my god. That was a bunch of, I was like, I know the time already expired, but for some reason I was sitting here like so scared that they would lose that round because of just 3 players dying to like 1 person at the same time. That made me scared. But we now see Saw going on the attack, and I think I said this before, I don't think, well, yeah, I said it before, that I think attacking on Ascent is a lot easier than defending on Ascent, where you're waiting for the attackers to come to you. Because I would say it's harder to retake site rather than it is harder to take site itself, just because of the amount of utilities that that the attackers do have in their pockets, depending on what agent station you take on Ascent.
Do like that recon bolt spotting out Jaco, and we talked about this over and over again, but Jaco is the player that you want to get rid of as fast as possible if you are Team Saw. Carries the first map right now, also carrying the second map, but the first man to go down is Scuba. As we see a pinch here at mid, they're taking a little bit too long, and that is giving the chance for Excelsior to be able to pinch them here at mid, and no
remaining.
kills on the side of
Spike
Saw.
down mid.
Last man standing is Zechariah, and he's got a ghost and a dream. Now 5 health, 2 bullets in the chamber. Is he able to connect with 1? Yes, but Diplomat is able to clean that up. Wow. Gumby?
I was looking at that mid push. Just you said it was a bit too slow, and it kind of mirrored what I
1
said.
second,
Or
peeps.
we
I
both
gotta
said
visit the Astral to
happened.
place some
What happened on
stars.
Ascent? Not Ascent. Sorry, this is Ascent. What happened on Split? With Saw, and that's the fact that there wasn't really enough initiative taken by any of these players. I said that Unit really was the main one taking initiative, but there were times where even he was very shy to take gunfights, and that's kind of what happened there. They just took way too long in one position, and mid is a very important piece of the map to control on Ascent, but you gotta be wary to not take too much time to do that.
Yeah, it looks like the plan here is going to be hitting this A site, but the Astral Pull is just too strong and is able to secure 2 men down. for Excelsior here. I mean, excuse me, Saw here. And now it's a 5v3. There's a lot of information for Excelsior here that they were going to hit this. Now it's going to be a rethink for Saw as the bomb is heading over to mid. Your best bet is, hey, let's rotate over, create some chaos here, see if we can get a kill somewhere else. But
enemy
Mail
remaining.
is just pushing out, full sending it here as they are on the search for Wombat here, who's making his way over into mid. He's gonna be pinched. The best thing to call for here is get a kill, but that's not gonna be the case here.
I mean, it's what we've seen on the set from Excel. Again, it's like these rounds, for whenever Saul wins a round, it has to be off of the brilliancy of one player, as we saw in Nil, or it's like a very close win. Whereas with Excelsior, it's kind of a different story. Every time they've won a round, it's extremely dominant on their part, and there you go. I mean, you can't get any more dominant than a flawless round. As it looks like, I don't know. I think the attack is probably going to go through A. If not, then it's going to be a control taken for mid, and then a push through A main into A itself from the side of Saw. But I mean, this is a lot better than what we saw on Split, if I do have to say so myself.
Yeah, and just like that, the man of the hour unit being able to take that first pick on a site. This was a fast hit, which I'm surprised they were able to do, but I do like it. This post plant, we've got a movement bot over onto this tree room. We also have turrets set up for the flank, and now we're gonna have three people playing A main here as two hold down this crossfire onto A heaven. Recon Bolt going to be giving away the position of Diplomat, and if we see it at their buy, it has to be a win for Saw here, because this buy off of Excelsior was more of like a extra round, a bonus round as we call it, where they saved the weapons that they last had in order to be able to full buy the following round, because they were able to succeed. So it's just going to be exit kills here for Jack and Mail, but Mail goes down. Jack able to secure one. That's one less weapon. Make that two less weapons for Team Saw. Zachary trying to clean it up, but that's not going to be the case. So we kind of expected that round to go over in the hands of Saw here, 1B, but we're going to get a different playground here as we get full weapons on both sides here. Also an operator.
Oh my god! When you said operator, I'm thinking like an agent. I was like, they can buy agents now? Like I don't know. I don't know why I thought that. So they have names on just like any gun has names, but an operator, yeah, an operator on the side of Excelsior, and nonetheless, it's in the hands of J-Co. We've seen J-Co on Split absolutely decimate the side of Saw before with that. He's gotten 2 kills at once with that gun before. So I'm expecting it to be the same here. As the first piece of contact is going to be between Unit and Jack, but Unit's going to be able to battle out Jack and win that gunfight. And now it looks to be a B push. Diplomat is able to get a trade onto Unit. Zachary getting the trade right back onto Diplo. And now the converge onto site is going to happen from Saw.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Spike planted.
KO's ultimate going to be coming down, as well as the run it back, not creating a lot of space for them, but just enough. Mail is doing a phenomenal job at taking over the site here. It's all left to 2, Wombat and Zachary. Thankfully for them, that KO goes down. Some hot hands going to be thrown, but gets the peek here. Cal gonna be the last man standing for Excel, but Zachary is able to clean it up with that wall damage. And it's looking good. It's looking good, 1B, for Saw here.
Yes, I mean, wow. Why couldn't we get this on Split?
They needed a reset. It's always a reset.
Yeah, I get it.
It's the jitters.
I get it. You know what? Actually, I should take that question back. But I mean, actually, no. The question still stands of why we couldn't get this on Split, because this looks like a completely different Saw, and it's so entertaining to watch. This is so much more competitive again than what we saw in Split, and it's lovely to see. We see a lot of gunfights being won from Saw, which we didn't see in Split. And a lot of these players looking scarier than they did on Split. Again, a more competitive game of Valorant, which we love to see.
And we have to say, we keep talking about it, but Unit and Jaco are the factors of this game, or this playground for the most part. If a Unit can get that initiating pick for Saw, they are golden. If Unit fails to get that initiating pick, it looks like Jaco is able to get the initiating pick, and then it is a more round for Excelsior. So that is actually the question. Who's going to get the first pick, and where is it going to land? As we saw, Swix actually is going to be the first to get a pick here. A lot of trades coming in, but it's a 3-2. Cosmic Divine coming out fresh off the bat here for Saw. Jaco scary as ever with an operator or a marshal, you name it. It's going to be a 3v3. Unit goes down to Jaco as well. And now it's going to be the first round once again for Team Excelsior.
With themselves in the lead by only 1 round, and I mean, again, this is a lot more competitive than what we saw in Split. And that round, I said it before, when the Excelsior wins a round against Saw, they're very dominant in their win. That was very close almost, and it came down to a good flank from Jaco coming in from I want to say tree into from garden into tree, and then it was only 2 players left for the side of Saw, and so many guns on the side of Excel that what can they do in this
Get out of my
situation?
way.
Not really a lot. But this round could be a lot different for them as the push comes in from B main or from B lobby into B main, and it looks like they're going to focus. It looks like a split type of push, like a mid/B main type of push, or where they're gonna have like a lurker in B main watching for flanks from the actual B site, and then they're just going to take control of mid and possibly attack onto A. That's what it looks like to me. How about you?
They're trying to get as close as possible. As we see Bladestorm comes out from Unit. Their weaponry isn't the best. We're seeing a lot of we're seeing 2 sheriffs, a ghost and a stinger, which is typical of a save round because their economy wasn't the best from the last round. So they want to get these close-up fights. Try to get a weapon off of the hands of Excelsior here if they can. They were looking to take that person at tree, but there was no exposure from the person at tree, so now they're having to rotate over. I do like the lead from Unit here. Oh man, wow.
One enemy remaining.
We're gonna pretend we didn't see that 1v because I don't think we were meant to see that.
I saw that. I can't believe I saw that, but I did. That was unfortunate, and it happens. The Bladestorm, as powerful as it is, it's also very hard to get kills with it sometimes. And Unit, it's unfortunate, but he kind of showed why it was kind of hard to get kills. He missed every single one of those plays, and I know you said not to talk about it.
We're not talking about it.
I can't. I don't think I can let that go.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, things happen, folks. Okay. Don't be too hard on our man Unit. He is 18-16-1, carrying his team, thank you very much, as an initiator, as his job, as a duelist, excuse me. So we're just going to move on to the next round with even weapons. The one thing that is scary, though, is that operator on the hands of Jaco. Jaco is a ferocious man with the operator, so we want to get that operator off of the hands of Jaco, or maybe even just rotate away from Jaco. If you see him, run away, go the opposite direction, don't engage. No information is going to get pulled from that Soba drone, so that's going to be good for Saw here. But what isn't going to be good is that peek off garage there. Jack able to secure 1, not 2, but Diplo is very low, so if they want to regress that, I wouldn't be too upset if they did. There's 3 men over on A site, so that leaves only 2 men standing on the side of B, so B should be the hit that they're going for here as they are pushing into garage. What is going to happen is maybe we could get a little recon bolt here from Soba. The lockdown also coming down from Killjoy. Just as I say that, going to be clearing off the site. They're going to have to secure the back dock if they want to take over that full site. Diplo though
30
is holding down
seconds
that CT with what seems to be a not an operator, sorry, excuse me, the
Spike
Phantom,
down,
able to
B.
secure one. Oh, Cal peeking off the angle. It's not even like a peek, it's just a spray through the smoke. 14 seconds on the board. Time is ticking down. They have to go for the kill. Do they want to go for this? There's no way they get the
Player
They do
standing.
get the operator down.
One
If
enemy
Mail
remaining.
goes down,
Clutch.
what is happening here? Scuba with
Good
the
thing I was with
clutch.
you. Yes.
Yes! Let's go! Let's go, son! Let's go! What a beast!
I think that was the ultimate mistake by Cal there to peek. You know time's ticking. There's no more time to plant. The bomb isn't anywhere in the position of Saw. But everyone and their mothers decides to peek alone. I don't know. I don't know what happened there.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. All right. 9-10 on the board, folks. It's coming down to who makes the least mistakes. We saw a whiff from Unit. We saw a whiff from Jaco here. A little damage being done onto Unit. But the bomb is nowhere in sight. It actually hanging out over at Catwalk here. I like how they're not being as decisive of where they want to hit. I do enjoy the fact that they're being a little bit more methodical and just kind of baiting out the rotations from Excelsior. That's kind of what happened to them a lot on Split, and I think they're taking a page out of Excelsior's book is to kind of just bait out sites and then decide where to hit after the fact.
Yeah, Jayco's just perched himself onto this Raptors position. The recon bolt comes out and he's going to probably give away his position, or is it? I'm not too sure, but he is just gonna be watching this A main push that's going to be coming in, or that was going to be coming in from Saw. I mean, he has the operator in hand. They probably noticed this, and so they just ran away. Like you said, the only thing you can do is either kill him or run away, and they just
30
opt out
seconds
to run
left.
away. You have a player in the mid just kind of waiting at the kills
Down
wave
mid.
6. He's gonna get taken out. 2 kills coming out from XL, now another, and this push is ultimately what I don't even know what
Last
the push
player
was. There goes
standing.
another kill for kill, and this round is going to end just as slowly as it started. I mean, flawless. That wasn't in the book. I don't think that was in the book. I got so excited for Saw that I forget that EXO's the best team in Group A.
Yeah,
So
they definitely are, and they're showing why. They don't want to mess with Jaco, who with that operator. And just to put it into numbers, as we can see, Jaco isn't even top fragging at this moment. Actually, Male is, but Jaco is such a impactful player for his team that he's just causing fear in Saw at this moment. This is going to be a hard round now if we look at just economy-wise. They have opt to save. This is going to be giving Excelsior their 12th point. They're going to be fighting for last match point after this if it doesn't go in the way of Saw. I mean, anything can happen. We've seen Unit hit some shots, but Diplo knows exactly where he is and is just going to be taking out Unit, who's the top player for Team Saw. The
Player
bomb is
standing.
making its way into
Spike
B
down,
site, but
B.
Jack and Diplo are just holding it down.
the last player standing is Wombat. He's going to grab one, but he's not going to grab the second. 2 players swinging on him at the same time. He's not below. He can't get 2 heads at once.
Match point.
Unfortunately for him. And there goes the round, and it's now match point for XL. 3 rounds do Saw have to win to be going to confirm at what is it, overtime in Valorant. I don't think I've seen an overtime match in Valorant before. So this will be my first time if they could actually win 3 rounds in order to confirm it. But do you think they could do you think they can do that? I mean, they're playing much better than they played on Split, and there are times where we've seen XL slip up when we don't expect them to. We didn't even see them really slip up on Split all that much.
Do that's doable. What I want to see is obviously Unit continue to do what he's doing, but also there's a couple of util available to them. Like example, that run it back, creating a lot of space. The lockdown, they're gonna have to get rid of the lockdown if they don't want to have to reposition here, because I believe that is the lockdown. Okay, that was the lockdown of Saw there. So Hunter's Fury already coming out. A lot of ultimates are being thrown out here. This lockdown's going to create a lot of space for the Excel here to take over site. Unit, though, has to get that pick, and he does not, and that is the match point for us, folks. Excelsior showing why they are the dominating team in this what is it called? Series. I was out of words there. Scratch that. One more round? No?
No.
Potentially? Were they baiting this? I was kind of scared. I was like, wait, did I call it too soon? Oh my god. I'm getting fired.
Oh, wow. What a game 2 tonight. What a series tonight. But it's Excelsior, the defending champs, showing up, keeping those crowns on securely and tight, and taking it home tonight 2-0. What a crazy game 2 we got, though, guys. This was insane. That game, honestly, even though Excelsior's walking away here with the dub tonight, I really want to focus game 2 on staring at walls. Guys, night and day for this team. That was a whole other squad we saw come in for game 2.
I don't know what to say. I was really, you know what? I did do that thing where I think it was I can't remember who did the 1v2 clutch, but I was like so excited. I was so pumped. I was like, "Let's go!" I don't think I've never celebrated that hard until like I hit plat on Siege. I don't think I've ever celebrated that hard. It most definitely did leave my throat sore a little bit. But man, I really did want them to go to the third map. That Haven is a much different map than what we've seen of Ascent and Split. And I said Ascent and Split are like the same type of map to me at least. Haven's a whole different story. That would have been really fun to watch, but unfortunately we don't get it. So I mean, sad
Yep.
face.
Best of 3, and unfortunately, yep, Saw not going to be able to quite take us there, but you know what? Big props to them for showing up. That second game, I felt like, they woke up, they were feeling, hey, you know what, guys? We're a VLS team. We got to turn things on. We got to give these people a show at home. And they definitely did that. But we heard from you one because I know I heard you cheering all the way through for Saw there. And it was so hype seeing that. But Cute Noob, some things you like, some things you want to see improvements on from either one of these teams. What are your thoughts after tonight's games?
I think I kind of felt the vibe from 1B, and I was like, oh, I do kind of hope that they, take us into the third map. I was
Yeah.
hopeful for the underdogs. But I mean, we have to give credit where credit is due, and Excelsior just did phenomenal. They have a really good team chemistry. Hands down to their top player, Jaco. I get it. I see it. I understand it.
Once you see,
But
you know.
yeah, you know it. But Unit, we also gave him props. He was able to entry frag just like he was supposed to and create space for his
Mhm.
team and made a huge impact, I think, definitely for the morality of his team for that second map. So I want to see that morality just coming in with the first map, because coming from a loss is already rough on your mental. So if you can create that impact on the first map, I think that Saw could definitely have a potential in this series and in this tournament.
Exactly, right? If that first game looked a little bit more like that second game, then we'd be coming into, going through the night a bit more unsure of where things are going to go. But now that we've gotten to see Saw in that form, you know what? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt going into week 2 that they've definitely got the skills to hold their own against the reigning champs. They showed that here tonight in game 2. But week 1 officially coming to a close. Our other league is also done as well too. So hello to all the people from the League of Legends stream as well too. Thanks for joining us here on the closing tail end of this. But we're all out of content for you tonight. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to wait till next week until we get some more Valorant action coming back towards you guys. But don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for VTS Victoris Triumph Series right here on this channel for our Grandmaster League of Legends League. We got a great broadcast crew coming in. But before we leave, any final thoughts, 1B Cute Noob, about what you're looking forward to, or just your general thoughts going on?
I do want to make a note, and then I do want to give a little bit of a shout out to one of the players. Well, to really all of Saw. I felt like again, I said it before in the middle of the match. Unit really I thought even though he wasn't really that great on split, according to the scoreboard, I felt again he could have almost carried his team through Ascent. And he could have almost done the same on split, even though the split was not close whatsoever. He did a lot of things right in both of those games, and you saw him mainly taking the initiative when that's not really his role. Unfortunately, for Saw, North wasn't here tonight, and Zachariah was filling in for them, so that meant what looked I think Unit was like switching roles to fill in for North when he wasn't there, and I felt like he did a really good job as duelist. And once North comes back and they have their full team at play, it's going to be a problem in Group A. And they're going if they play like they did in Game 2 again, you can tell that they have potential, and
Yeah.
they're a special team. I can't remember what else I was. So I'll just leave it at that because I said I was
That's
gonna say something else, but I can't remember.
that's all good. Those are all wonderful points. Cute noob, yourself. Final closing points before we call her a night.
I had a blast. I think this was an amazing first start to the series, and I'm excited to see all of the future teams. I hope you guys take notes on your opponents. And Wumby, we're going to continue to vibe out as well as for you, Gurf, and I'm just excited to be here.
Yep. Always a fun time on our Thursday nights. I had a blast getting to hear you guys cast too, and just, of course, seeing some top tier spicy Valorant plays. That's what we're here for. That's what makes my heart happy, at least. But until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you back here next Thursday for week 2 of VLS action. But of course, streams every single weekday, Monday to Friday, 8 p.m. EST on both here and our secondary channel, Victoris GG2. We will see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and till next Thursday.